Welcome everyone to Inside Arena Football for another episode. I'm your host as always, joined by Joe Powell. How's 2021 been treating you?
2021 been rough, dealing with COVID and really not being able to play football and things like that. But other than that, it's been great being able to, learn a lot more about myself, be with my family more, because, during football, you travel a lot. So, I've been able to be with my wife and my son, full time now. Don't have to travel a lot due to football and things like that. But I just recently opted out of the CFL due to the COVID situation and, really uncertain about the situation out there. And I recently signed with the Carolina Cobras in the NAL for arena football. So, it's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of, blessings here and there. But, it's just, you got to take it day by day and then just keep pushing the best that you can.
You recently signed with Carolina. Take us through what you joined the team.
Can you repeat the last part?
Obviously, with you just signing with Carolina recently, take us through what you signed with them.
It's hard to understand again. It's starting to break up again. Cause I heard the part where you asked, take us through signing with Carolina Cobras, but I can't hear the last part.
Yeah, that was actually the question.
Oh, well, take you through
take us through that signing.
It's just really thinking about the best situation for me and my family as far as off the field, as far as moving situations and things like that. And honestly, Carolina is closer to her family and my family. Currently I'm living in Maryland. It's close to my family, but not so close to hers. But Greensboro is closer to both. And I got a couple of friends and a couple of old teammates that signed with Carolina Cobras. So, the transition to go to there, it was smooth sailing because it's I'm not going into nothing new as far as the arena game. I'm not going, it's a lot of people that I know. So the chemistry is going to be, spot on with that. And, I've always heard good things about the coaches and things like that. So it was just a smooth transition to just to sign with those guys, just because of who I know and then where I'm gonna be playing at.
Do you feel with your experience that you'll be able to step into a leadership role with them?
Oh yeah, I'll be able to play a big role with the leadership. Just understanding and knowing the game for one, being around the game, being around some great coaches that taught me the game. You know, I don't know how many young guys that we have on in the secondary or on the defense period, but at the end of the day, no matter how old or how young you are, you can always learn every day. And I'm just gonna go in and then be a lead by example. Voice my opinion when necessary. I'm not a big vocal guy when it comes to just voicing my opinion on things. It's just if I have to, I will. But I'm more so a lead by example type of guy. Come in, put it in the work day in and day out, and just expect for my teammates to follow suit. But just having the knowledge of the game and understanding, majority of what's going to go on within the offense, and just picking the brains of my coaches and my other fellow teammates that are vets and things like that. We just gonna build some camaraderie and just go from there, and hopefully we can host a trophy at the end of the season.
I see that you play high school football in Virginia. How would you describe the football that you faced against competition-wise there?
Yeah, I played in Virginia, Portsmouth, Virginia. I played at IC Northam High School. We got 3 high schools in our city, but we have had some pretty good talent in our district, and just in the 757 period, it's a lot of talent within the 757. Me, when I played in high school, I done played against a lot of talented guys. A lot of guys, a couple guys that's in the NFL or CFL right now. Um, Talent wise is exceptional, man. It's just, coming from where I come from, it's like a small city and a lot of people don't get to make it out of there. But, if you got a strong mentality and, you straightforward and, you don't get blindsided by, all the women and some of the people that's around you that's not into sports or like that's into the street world. Like if you don't get sidetracked with that and you got a good circle around you, it's a great chance that you could make it out of the city or in that area, period. But talent wise, man, it's phenomenal, man. We got a lot of talent and I went against some great guys, played with some great guys, and I was blessed to be able to make it out of the situation that I was in, as far as coming from that city and things like that. But as far as the talent, man, I feel like as far as the 757 and Portsmouth goes, and we're like in that area, we got some of the best talent in the country.
All right. Also, you had the opportunity to spend some time, in addition to entering and arena football, with the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. What was that experience like?
Well, during that time, I was young. Uh, it was a great experience. I appreciate the opportunities that I had with those two teams. But it was different. Coming from not really having a big college background, not really experiencing what I would experience at that level. I didn't never experience that in the past before getting there. But yeah, the transition was totally different for me. And it was just a humbling experience, great opportunity for me. And now that I look back at it, I look at it as I wish I could have, done more or like, took the time in or as far as mentally to prepare myself for that big stage. But at the end of the day, man, I leave no regrets from playing in the NFL and, what I mean, not playing as long as I wanted to, because at the end of the day, I'm still shooting to get back into the NFL. So, it was a great experience. I appreciate everybody that I crossed paths with, people that I still, talk to, or, what I mean, that I can talk to on, like, occasionally, give some people, still give me inspirational quotes and things like that. So, it was just a great experience, coming from the small city of Portsmouth and being able to make it to the NFL with literally like no college background, just be grinding out on my own and just pushing every day just to be where I wanted to be.
All right. You also had a chance to play in the AAF and the XFL. What were the most memorable experiences of your time in those leagues?
As far as the AAF, I say I feel like the thing that stuck with me the most is I went to Birmingham for training camp. I got released after probably the first week, and for honestly, like when I got back home, I was depressed. I really didn't want to do anything. I didn't know if it was me or if it just wasn't my time at the moment. But the coach brought me back the first week of the regular season, and then I stayed for the rest of the AAF. And I feel like the most memorable thing about the AAF was, I had a couple of nice hits and things like that, but it was just my impact on the team in general. Being that I was a guy that got cut, and then I came back, and I was, I ain't gonna say I was the heart of the defense, but when I came in the game, because I wasn't the starter, when I came in, I made an impact. right away if it came from a hit or just energy from me, going through my teammates, and then I was a guy that my coach could rely on also on special teams also. So the AAF was a great experience. As far as just being in a professional experiment again, and then the XFL. My most memorable thing was my kick return. First kick return in XFL history in the new XFL. I could say that was really my most memorable moment in the XFL, and just being around a bunch of great guys that I still talk to this day.
Yeah, I've heard good things about your kickoff return skills as well. So, what would you say is one of the biggest things that you focus on to develop that part of your game?
Honestly, I'm not to sound cocky or anything, but honestly, I'm just a natural pure athlete. Before I honestly don't feel like I'm a better DB than I am at receiver, because before I got on the professional stage, I was always a receiver. Because coming up, before I went to the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, I was a receiver like at heart, and then when I got there, it was just they transitioned me to defensive back, and I played great at defensive back. So as far as nationwide, everybody look at me as a top defensive back, but I've always been great with the ball in my hands. I've always been able to run after the catch or anything like that. So as a kick returner, it's just when I got the ball in my hand, the only thing I know is make a play. So that's what really helps me as far as being able to return kicks, is just being a pure athlete and just knowing, what I need to do and where I need to be.
I've asked this question a few times in the past, in our past episodes, but do you feel that potentially playing in front of limited or no fans this season will take away from what makes arena football special, considering that it does have a heavy fan involvement during the game?
I feel like it's going to be different. I've never experienced actually playing in the game in front of no fans. So I feel like it's going to be different, but I mean, I practice how I play. So it's like I go 100% every day in practice. So I feel like it's almost going to be like a scrimmage, or like I'm in practice, and it's going to be no different, because we got one goal at task, and that's to go 1-0 each week. So I mean, I feel like it's going to be kind of hard to pump yourself up, being that I've never experienced it. Watching it in the NBA, I can tell it was hard for them, but they in a different portal than we are in the arena. So I mean, only thing I'm gonna be able to do is try to experience it and see how it goes, and then after the first week, you're just gonna have to find a way just to get yourself motivated, or just to get some juice in you. But I feel like majority of that just gonna have to come from your teammates, honestly, man, because what I mean, that's who you really doing it for. You're doing it for your teammates. At the end of the day, you out there putting your body on the line for the people that's beside you. So I mean, if you respect the man that's beside you, you're going to give him your all, no matter what, no matter the setting or where you at. So that's just my mindset going into it. Is I'm gonna give my all for the brother that's beside me, that's putting his body on the line for me also.
I would say that's probably the best mindset to go in, especially with just the uncertainty of it in general.
Right.
What are some of the biggest differences in prep when it comes to playing on the road versus at home from a player's perspective?
I'd say the biggest difference in prep is, I say, it's really just your your routine, honestly, man. I just feel like you can't switch up what you do if you're at home or away. I mean, it's going to be different being that, when you got away games, you got to travel either the day before and then you sleeping in a hotel to where your rhythm will be like a little off just from that standpoint. You don't do what you usually do when you're at home, when you're on the road. But excuse me, I feel like it's just about your daily routine and your preparation for that week. I mean, if you got your goals written down each week for how you want to do your things for that week, if it's home or away, then I don't feel like anything will be different within your game of play. So it's just really all about preparation and just how you're going to attack the weekend. When when you go away, it's just you got to just stay locked in onto how you prepare, like as if you was at home. I feel like that's really the biggest thing is preparation for that.
What would you say is changed the most from year one to now in terms of either your play style or preparation for games?
It changed the most. Really, preparation for me is knowing what I'm going to get day in and day out as far as from the offense. Film study, my rest. It's just doing the little things that they don't see while you at the facility and things like that. Man, you got to put in the extra work, the extra hours to make sure that for one, your body is where it needs to be, your mental is where it needs to be, and just understanding like how a team or anything is going to attack you. Because at the end of the day, that's half of the battle. Just understanding and knowing what's going to happen or what's coming. So I mean, I feel like that's really the biggest from beginning of my career to now, as far as my preparation on film study and learning a team or a player in general that I have to go against for that week.
You mentioned earlier that you switched from receiver to defensive back. What would you say is was the biggest, like how long did it take for you to adjust to that change?
It didn't. It really didn't. It wasn't no change. It was I'm an athlete, so it was like it's not like I wasn't playing DB before. I played DB in high school. I played it in semi-pro. I played it in JUCO. But like I said before on the net, like people before, like my close friends or people that really know me, like they will tell you Joe Powell is a receiver before a DB because they know me. But people that seen me, what I've been doing since 2015 with the Lehigh Valley Steelhawks, they're gonna say, "Oh, Joe P is a DB because I've been doing great at DB, and then I made it to the NFL at DB." But I don't feel like it's no different. At the end of the day, I'm a ball hawk. I want to go get the ball. Uh, if I had to go say a difference is only one is running forward, one is going backwards and backpedaling. But as far as it's the same thing, preparing and preparation for learning who you're going against, also knowing who you are as a player, as far as the defensive back. Understanding what you can do and what you can't do, and it's just the difference is that the ball is not coming to you. The ball is going to a receiver that you have to defend and get the ball the best way that you can. But at the end of the day, I'm a ball hawk. So either way is, it's still football. So that's really the difference for me as far as defensive back and receiver.
Okay. Also, like as a DB, like what would you say is the biggest thing that when training that you like to focus on to continue to improve year to year?
Really, my hips, eyes, understanding the game more. Uh, just learning more about me as a defensive back. Um, that's really that I like to focus on day in and day out. Just making sure my mental is where it needs to be, understanding hand placement, understanding foot placement, as also you know um, just learning. and knowing what I can do, and just going back from watching past film, seeing like things that that I did good, things that I did bad, things that I can do better as far as in situations for when I didn't do things good. That's really what I try to focus on, like daily. It's just making sure my hips is fluent, making sure when I'm going against someone, my eyes is in the right place, or just understanding who I got around me, the things that I can do, like if I could be aggressive or if I have to sit back, just learning day in and day out about my position, and then just watching veterans or like Hall of Famers that done it, and just learning from their game and trying to put it into my toolbox.
What have been some of your memorable experiences in your playing career?
Can you say it again, please?
What would you say has been like some of your most memorable experiences in your playing career?
Most memorable experiences in my playing career. Honestly, man, it's just my journey in general. I bounced around a lot trying to get to where I wanted to be, man, and just meeting new people, learning from new coaches. Um, just going into a daily grind with people that got the same mind, like the same task as you, trying to get to the same place. That's really, man, that's really the fun part for me about football, is just being around a bunch of guys that got the same goal as you, and that's getting to the next level. And I met a lot of great guys, man, that I could call my brother today, and that's honestly some of the greatest things about football and my journey, is just meeting new people that becomes a brotherhood for life, and just making it to the NFL, and being able to be an inspiration for people that they got the same goal as you, or like that's on the same path that you was on, as far as from high school to 1 year in a college, independent college, and then going to JUCO and having to leave JUCO and going to play semi-pro, and then going to play arena, making it to the NFL, just off of my talent and things like that, and my grind that I put in daily. That's really what I enjoyed the most about my experience on my journey with football.
We mentioned a little bit earlier about the opening kickoff of XFL history, but I was like, is there any other like play that you would say that even right now that you still cherish from your playing career?
Man, that's a lot. It's a lot of plays, man. I can't really like think of none off the back, man. It's just so many plays that I've made over my career. I got a big hit in the XFL that that people still talk about, that I'm happy about, against the San Antonio team. A couple, a lot of arena kick returns. As far as from the time I started, at the end of the season, towards the end of the season, then scoring every game after that. Once I started kick return, a lot of great pick sixes that I've had. But it's one game when I was playing semi-pro, that even though it's semi-pro, I never forget when I think we were down like 2 touchdowns with like 2 minutes to go in the game. It was like to go to the championship game, and I scored 2 touchdowns with like within 2 minutes of that game. And that's something that I still cherish to this day. And yeah, that's really about it as far as like, memorable moments on the field.
What do you say has been some of the most challenging experiences through your career?
Challenging experiences. You know, just bouncing around, honestly, going from team to team. And then now, you know, I got a family, gotta, you know, put them into consideration as far as like where I'm gonna go, what I'm gonna do. Uh but honestly the most challenging was the NFL, man, you know, just trying to understand like where would I fit in the NFL, not understanding like, you know, like what I needed to do to stay on the team because in my mind I'm thinking I need to know defense more than special teams. But you know, special teams was my way to getting into the NFL. But you know, that's really the most challenging things about you know my journey is just going from team to team, meeting new people, making sure that the decisions that I make is beneficial not just for me but also for my family, making sure that you know not just me being happy but my wife is happy, my son's going to be happy. You know, that's really the most challenging things as far as my career is just making sure that I'm not the only one that's happy, it's also my family and putting them in a good spot and in a good mindset of where we going in life or where we headed in life. As far as football, I mean that's never challenging because I prepare for it. But you know, when things don't go as planned, as far as a team getting like a league shutting down or you know a team folding, that's really the most challenging things. Making sure that we are prepared for those type of situations and making sure that my next move is the best move for me and my family. So I say that's really the most challenging about you know, football and the journey in general.
I believe if I remember correctly, the XFL was pretty much shut down because of COVID, and that's pretty much what led to the league closing operations. How would you say, like, how do you adjust to that? Like, that?
Well, being that you know COVID had shut down the league, it really wasn't a process that I had to go through because you know I had you know I'm the apartment that I'm living in now. We had that while I was in the XFL, so it was like I had something that I can go back to as far as you know living situation. So that really be the biggest things about when leagues shut down is if I have somewhere I can go. So I had somewhere I can go. So it really wasn't a big issue. But the you know the issue with that was you know I had just you know basically that's the second time something has got taken away from me as far as football due to the AAF shutting down during the season, then COVID shutting down the season. You know that was really the challenging part, was just having to you know cancel football out again, and then not knowing when the next time I'll be able to play football due to COVID. So you know that was it really wasn't a bad transition. It was an easy transition from going from XFL to you know back to the regular life as far as living in general. So you know it was challenging at first because it's like what's my next move, and then you know like a week or two later my agent had contacted me about signing with the CFL. So you know it was a smooth transition. It really wasn't too troubling. So I wouldn't say it was a hard transition. It was smooth sailing.
Who would you say about the coaches and players who have had a huge impact on your football life?
Oh, can you say that again, please? It was breaking up.
Who would you say are some of the key coaches and players that have had a huge impact on your football life?
I couldn't understand that question. It was breaking up again.
Okay, let's see. In terms of like coaches and players throughout your football career, who would you say has had the most like impact on it?
As far as my coaches in my career, as far as coaches in my career, one I have to start back with my high school coach, Coach Allman. You know, he molded us into young men while he was our coach, and he had to leave us. My senior year due to personal situation, and as far as professionally, man, as far as arena, I have to go with Coach Sad Walker. He he really helped me understand the arena game, and really broke it down for me, helped me understand, helped me see what's happening. Then also Ron Selesky, he was my coach with Cleveland, but he also helped me get on the team with Birmingham Iron. So he had a good impact on me. And then as far as players, man, it's a lot of players. It's a lot of players that I would say that really had an impact on me as far as playing wise. There's so many to name, man. I don't want to just single out a couple people, man. I'm gonna just say all my teammates, man. Every team that I've been on, everybody played a role, that I've played with, no matter the position, no matter, how old, how young, because everybody, like I said, is there for one common goal. So every team that I've been on, man, I've been cool with majority of every person on the team. I'm a very likable person. So it's like, as far as players, man, I'm gonna just say everybody, every team that I've came across, or every person that I've came across, man, played an impact.